Really, Gendy? You just couldn't let my boy have his, huh? He's been through all this shit, and you're gonna do that to him. All right, fine, whatever. I don't care. I do care, but I don't care. Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to my review for Samurai Jack Season 5, Episode 10, the season finale. Wait, hold on. That is true, but that's not the big thing. It's not just the season finale. It is the series finale, the final episode of Samurai Jack, maybe ever. All right, we just got my boy back in March, and he's done. It's over. 10 episodes. Bam. We would have been done with this last week if they didn't do that Rick and Morty shit. So, we are done officially with Samurai Jack, but I hope that's not true because I want more. But man, this season was amazing. We waited 13 years to see a conclusion to Samurai Jack, and we thought, I'm sure I'm speaking for everybody here. We seriously thought we would never get this. We never thought. At this point, like if you told me like 2 years ago that we would get a Samurai Jack Season 5 and it would wrap everything up perfectly and it was an amazing season 2 years from then, I would be like, no, you're crazy. It's been like, at that point, it was like 11 years since the last season. There's fucking no way. And bada bam! Like at the end of what, 2015, they announced, yeah, it's happening. And then 2016 was like, yeah, we're working on it right now. I'm like, there's no way. Is it really? And then 2017, it's out. 13 years later, and it's out. And man, oh man, was it phenomenal. And if you told me, not only would it be phenomenal throughout the entire season, but it would also be not only a extremely satisfying ending to a cartoon show, which we don't usually get too much of, at least cartoons I watched, and I'm also including anime. Not only is it a very satisfying ending, but it will probably make you cry. And I'll be like, yeah, fuck it. Here's the Samurai Jack ain't gonna make me cry. Oh, I'm a man. I ain't gonna cry. And then I didn't cry, to be fair. But the only reason why I wasn't is because I was prepared. I was prepared for this, okay? So 13 years of waiting. Gendy did it. Everybody else that worked on it did it. They nailed it. So I just want to give a big, not only congratulations, but a huge thank you from, I'm assuming, everybody that is a Samurai Jack fan. Thank you, my boy. You did us right. Even though you didn't do Samurai Jack right towards the end of this episode, you did us right. Thank you so much, Gendy. I'm sure you're not watching, but just in case you are, we appreciate it. We appreciate that you brought this back, and thank you. I love you. I do. I don't care. Whatever. I love you. I'll do it. I'll do you. I don't care. I will. I will do you. Okay? I'm sure he's not watching now. He turned it off. It's done. Okay, I'm sure I turned them off. Look at me. I'm gross. Anyway, let's talk about this. I'm very happy because I'm so happy this was a great episode. Let's talk about this episode now, okay? I want to go into full spoiler mode, but I feel like I should go into more review mode where I just talk about what I liked and didn't like about the episode, besides just go through it and tell you exactly what happened. I'm sure you watched the episode, you know what happened, so I'm not going to explain exactly what, I'm not going to go point by point. I'm going to tell you what I liked, though. Actually, you know what? Let's start off with the dislikes. Yeah, no, let's do likes. Never mind. This episode, I'm not fucking around. They had a lot to do in this last episode. 22 minutes. I thought they would have to have at least an hour episode to finish what they started, pretty much. Last episode, we had the penultimate episode where it was just pretty much Empire Strikes Back there. Ashi gets corrupted. She's evil now again, and she turned on Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack threw down his sword. He said, "I'm not doing this." Aku took his sword. He's like, yeah, I got his sword, baby. And that's how the episode ends. This one starts off. By the way, I did predictions, and I'm going to talk about my predictions later on in this episode and see what I got right. But this is the one thing I didn't get right. The beginning of this episode starts with Flora, I think her name is, who is the Scotsman's, I guess you could say, main daughter. And she's running to, well, she's not running, she's on a horse, but she's going to go tell Scotsman what's happening, that Aku is like streaming a video through his manor, I guess, or his tower, and no one knows what's going on. It's just a video, just like nothing happening, and then bam, Aku's like, this is the best part. This is so good. Aku comes up and it starts and it says, "Long ago in a distant land." I was like, oh my god, they're playing the original theme in the fucking show. I was so hyped. That was so amazing. They started playing it, and it was Mako. It was Mako. What's his name? Greg Baldwin didn't do the intro over himself. It was straight up Mako that did the voice because, of course, they just took the original intro. And it was so good to hear, like, Mako pretty much tell everybody what's going on with the samurai. I sent them back, whatever. If you listen to the intro or watch the intro or watch any of the episodes from the past, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That intro was amazing, and it was implemented so well. And then Aku's just like, wrong. This samurai, I caught him. He's going to die, and Aku's about to kill him. And it was such a great way to begin it. I just realized that I said I'm not going to tell the story over again, and I'm just doing that right now. But I'm sorry, I'm so hyped that I want to talk about these parts. But that was so good. The intro was amazing. Just how they implemented that into the actual story. It was so good. It was such a huge surprise. I thought we would never hear that intro again in something new for Samurai Jack. But guess what? We did. It was amazing. It was just the beginning of the intro, so you didn't hear. Of course, you didn't hear wachak boom. You didn't hear any of that. Of course, that wouldn't make any fucking sense. But it's all the intros, the Mako part. And I really enjoyed that. There's some really great stuff in this. Of course, Jack and Scotsman gets to meet again, and that was a really good little interaction where Scotsman's like, "Oh, you can marry one of my lasses," and Jack's like, "Oh no, I have someone else in my crosshairs," in a good way, you know, not like a pew, like a way, you know, mwah, you know. So that was a really good scene. I really liked that they got one last like interaction before the series ended. It was a funny one. Jack was just like, "What? You're a ghost?" I wish the Scotsman brought up the fact that Jack hasn't aged in 50 years, but whatever. They also didn't explain that, but I'm guessing it's just something to do with the time travel, so that's perfectly fine. I don't need to explain that, really. So that's just me being nitpicky. Even though I'm not being nitpicky, I said it's fine, so whatever. So I really like that. I really, really love the whole battle scene at the end. The whole battle scene with Aku, Jack, and Ashi. I did predict this, alright, I'll say it again later, but I did predict this. I knew that my boy Jack, to get through to Corrupted Ashi, he would have to say something. And I think I jokingly said it, but there was some seriousness in there that he would say, like, "I love you, Ashi," and that would cure her, pretty much, of her Akuism. Which is a little cheesy, but again, there's only 22 minutes left in this series, so they have to break her out somehow. They could explain, like, there's some way to break her of Aku's curse or some shit or whatever. There's a medallion that can ward off all evil spirits or some shit, but we only have 22 minutes, so just, I love you, mwah, let's go, alright, let's defeat her, let's defeat him. So I really liked all the Aku, Ashi, and Jack stuff towards the end, where I did predict this. Jack and Ashi, or I should say Ashi, takes control of Aku's powers and is beating Aku, and then Jack's like, "Wait, you have his powers?" And Ashi's like, "Yeah," and she just opens a time portal. And Jack and Ashi go back in time. Back to when Jack originally got thrown back into the future. Back to the future, okay? And of course, yeah, I think it's Mako saying this as well. I couldn't really tell, which is maybe a good thing, you know, considering I've been always complaining about Greg Baldwin's impersonation, but I couldn't tell if that was Mako. I think that was Mako when it's just like, "We will see each other again, samurai. And this next time we won't be so lucky," whatever he said. And then I predicted that right after he said that was when Jack will come back with Ashi, or just Jack, I said. I think I just said Jack. So to be fair, I didn't get that completely right. And he would kill Aku there. And that's exactly what happened. What a great way to end Aku's reign, is by pretty much making it only... That reign was only like, what, 10 seconds maybe? Like, alright, now I start to conquer what the fuck? Oh shit, oh. And that's such a great way to end what is possibly the most evil motherfucker ever. And I thought it was great. So what a great way to end it right there. And of course, it ends in a way where, you know, Aku's defeated, he's killed, he's gone forever, okay? And then, of course, Jack and Ashi are there. So Jack and Ashi meet up with Jack's parents, of course, and they're about to get married. It actually jump cuts. I'm assuming at least a little bit. Like, it's not like an hour later and they're already getting married and everything's fine. I'm assuming it's a little bit later. And then Ashi is walking towards Jack, and she's beautiful. She looked great. doable, 10 out of 10, you know what I'm saying? And it's like going in slow motion, it's playing this music and stuff, and there's already like, there's like 4 minutes left in this episode, so immediately I'm like, there's something else gonna happen. I was stroking my neck beard going, there's gonna be something happening. I don't think I did that, actually. Go watch my reaction, I'm pretty sure I didn't do this. But I knew there was something gonna happen, and I was saying throughout the entire episode, it's not gonna end well, it's not gonna end well. I said this in my predictions video, it's not gonna end well with Ashi, and Ashi starts stumbling, and she falls down. Jack grabs her. He's like, Ashi, are you okay? Yada, yada, yada. He says something else. I don't remember. And then Ashi's like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Aku, and Aku's gone. So she starts to disappear. And that's it for Ashi. Which, I mean, if you consider time travel, that doesn't make any sense. Immediately, when he killed Aku, that should have been it. She should have disappeared right there. But whatever, you know, it was very emotional the way they did it. And of course, Jack's being, you know, I'm assuming it jump cuts a little bit forward, maybe, I don't know, I would assume maybe a month or something. And he's roaming around in some dreary looking forest, and he sees a ladybug, just like how Ashi saw her mother kill the ladybug, and how Jack embraced the ladybug. And it's supposed to symbolize, like, oh, that's her spirit, and you can move on with your life, Jack. And the ladybug flies away, and he's all happy and shit. It's like the ending of Patch Adams, pretty much, which, terrible movie. But, except it was a butterfly in that movie. And it just flies away, and he's like, ha-ha, yeah. He doesn't laugh, but he's happy. And then everything gets beautiful around him. So he can live on with his life, missing Ashi, not having her by his side, but kind of also having her by his side in a way. It was a great episode. I didn't explain everything that happened in this episode, but it was some really great stuff. It was really cool to see all of Jack's previous allies show up in this episode. I forgot to mention that. It was really cool to see, like, the dogs from the first episode. I'm pretty sure it's from the first episode, the one with the monocle and the mustache. He shows up. The Spartans show up. There's a couple other ones that show up that maybe I won't spoil, but it's really, really cool that we got to see them again, just real quick, even though some of them get killed off. Like, and also, if you think about it, like, not that they only existed because of Aku, but they're who they are because of Aku. So, because Jack got rid of Aku, those people may not exist, at least the way that we know them. Like, the Scotsman might be a completely different character, or might not even exist in that world anymore. So, it's still very, I'm losing my voice, by the way. No, I'm getting choked up, I'm crying. I almost did, I really did. Actually, at the end of the reaction, when I ended it, I almost choked up a little bit, because, not just because of Ashi dying, because this is the last thing, this is it. We waited this long, and it ended perfectly, and you just can't help but, like, roll a tear a little bit, you know? Let me take a drink of this. So quickly, let's take a look at my predictions. Excellent episode. I already kind of took a look. I already talked about this pretty much. But okay, what I wrote down is Aku mocking Jack with his sword. That didn't happen. Aku imprisons Jack and continues to mock. He does mock him, kind of, by like saying, like, how am I going to kill you, Jack? And he does imprison him with the shackles, so I kind of got that right. Scotsman and army show up to help. That happened. Aku and Ashi leave Jack to watch as they destroy the army. Okay, that doesn't happen. But I think Jack does watch the army get destroyed, but it's only Aku that leaves. Ashi's still there. Scotsman sneaks into the tower to save Jack. He doesn't sneak, he just flies in, and he does help Jack, to be fair. He doesn't save him. Jack is freed and looks for his sword, and the sword is literally right there, so he doesn't even need to look for it. He finds it, and Aku senses this and commands Ashi to deal with it. No, that didn't happen. Jack pleads with Ashi again, but doesn't work. That does work. I mean, that does happen earlier in the episode. Aku then shows up and gets the upper hand. That doesn't happen. Jack pleads with Ashi again and gets through and stops Aku, but gets mortally wounded in the process. That's what I wrote. That makes sense to me, I guess. Jack is back in the... That doesn't happen, by the way. Jack is back in the fight and finally defeats Aku. I guess that happened. I also explained that, alright, here's the ending. Ashi learns how to open a time portal and has a tearful goodbye with Jack before she dies, and he heads back to the past before he sends him to the future and defeats Aku in the past. So that's pretty much it. I mean, I got a couple things right. There's also a couple things I mentioned in that prediction video that I didn't write down as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, this review. I hope you enjoyed the reaction. I hope you enjoyed the season. I hope you enjoyed everything. And I hope you join me for the future where I do reactions for the first 4 seasons of Samurai Jack. It's been a great time. And I appreciate everybody that's been watching and really liking the reactions. And I appreciate you, Gendy, my boy. One love. Yeah. He knows what that means. So anyway, there you go. Thank you. And until next time, what a great way to end this series. It was an excellent ending. The only problem I have is a little cheesiness. That's really the only problem I had. Is, you know, the ladybug is kind of cheesy. But it works in the episode. It does. I will admit it does. Even though it's kind of rushed towards the end. I wish maybe the episode was like 10 minutes longer. That's it. That's the best I can say. I mean, or the worst I could say is that I wish it was longer. So it must be good. So anyway, there you go. Thank you. And until next time, goodbye. Mwah.